I'm pretty humiliated today. I have to admit something that I've only had to do about 3 times in my whole life. And one of them was just recently on Valentine's Day. I'll let you put 2 and 500 together on that one. But I have the cojones, and I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. And when it comes to XRP, I was wrong. Stung a little bit just saying it. But that's not all, as today I'm going to reveal to you a potential conspiracy regarding XRP and one of its founders you aren't going to believe. Let's get it. BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the largest crypto channel on all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button for your chance to win a full Bitcoin. Also, guys, if you'd like to leverage trade XRP, and a lot of people have been lately and making money, make sure to head on over to Bybit. It's also a sneaky place where you can still trade XRP, even though it's been delisted by many exchanges. You can also trade XRP for the Bybit trading competition and win up to $400,000 in prizes. Sign up for the competition by visiting bitboycrypto.com/Bybit, or just sign up for a Bybit account by visiting bitboycrypto.com/deals. Scroll down to the Bybit section. In this video, and it's going to be an epic one, I'm going to be discussing XRP and a serious error in judgment for myself. I'm also going to be telling you what I think is ultimately going to happen in the SEC lawsuit against XRP. Something that XRP holders or prospective investors must hear. So definitely watch this video all the way until the end. I'm also going to lay out a conspiracy that could send ripples throughout the XRP community. It's deep, and to me, it's pretty obvious what's going on here. So first, let's start with my apology to the XRP community. I'm sorry. You were right. I was wrong. So let's go back to last week on my live stream. We started discussing this article. XRP gearing up for massive pump, says Credible Crypto. Here's how high it could go. I covered this content because I know the XRP army is a bunch of suckers for a good Ripple pump story. The charts were extremely bullish, and I gotta give Credible Crypto some credit for this. But on the live stream, I called him delusional. I couldn't have possibly predicted fundamentally we would see the huge price pump we just did. And I'm always intrigued when charts start saying things from a technical perspective that have virtually no weight to them from a fundamental perspective. Fundamentally, XRP's dead. Well, dead may be a little strong. Let's just say it's hooked up to the breathing machine, and the SEC is weighing out whether or not to take it off life support. I know it's a morbid comparison, but it's kind of accurate. Here's why. The SEC, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, literally has the power of life and death in their hands for Ripple Labs. If, and it's a big if, Ripple decides to pursue an actual acquittal in the case and is unsuccessful, the SEC could give XRP the death penalty. This means that no one in the United States would ever be able to trade it again. It means no Coinbase relisting. Seeing how it's an American company ran by Americans, the SEC could go ahead and decimate Ripple Labs as well. CEO Brad Garlinghouse and former CEO Chris Larsen are both in big trouble for making money based on the supposedly illegal XRP token sale. But there's one person that was specifically not named in the SEC lawsuit, who's one of Ripple's co-founders, Jed McCaleb, who's also the founder of Stellar, who is also the creator of Mt. Gox. 2012 and 2013, it was the largest Bitcoin exchange in the world. In 2013, McCaleb sold Mt. Gox to French billionaire Marc Karpelès. Well, he wasn't a billionaire until after he took it over, but I digress. Marc Karpelès, now worth $2 billion, was in charge of Mt. Gox when it got hacked, and investors lost $460 million worth of BTC at the time, worth billions now. That's what you get for trusting a site that started out as a Magic the Gathering website. True story. I actually lost some Bitcoin myself on the Mt. Gox hack, but that's another story for another day. The fact is, Jed McCaleb has been involved with some of the sketchiest stuff in crypto. But here's where we get to something quite interesting. Here's the XRP lawsuit documentation from the SEC, and you'll see a key line here. The complaint alleges that Ripple raised funds beginning in 2013 through the sale of digital assets known as XRP in an unregistered securities offering to investors in the US and worldwide. Okay, so Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson are specifically named in the lawsuit. And yet, Jed McCaleb, one of the founders of Ripple, who was there during the beginning of the fundraise for the XRP token, was not named. McCaleb left in 2014 with a hefty severance package, which included 20 billion XRP tokens. According to today's number, that would be $20 billion. But McCaleb has steadily been dumping XRP tokens every month for the last 7 years. It's one of these stories that seems to raise its ugly head every single month for the XRP army. A never-ending FUD campaign of McCaleb dumping the price. But here's where things take quite a conspiratorial twist. This is the vesting schedule for McCaleb's severance package. It was a 7-year schedule ending, guess when? This year. The same year the SEC is going after XRP. During 2015, 16, and 17, McCaleb could dump $20,000 worth per week. Then the number converts from USD to XRP. He could sell 750 million XRP per year during 2018 and 19. During 2020, he could sell 1 billion XRP. Now, in 2021, he can sell 2 billion XRP. So one has to wonder, how much XRP does Jeb have left? A recent article from AMB Crypto says that McCaleb has 2 billion XRP remaining that he can sell all off by May. Keep in mind, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson are accused of making $600 million off of the token sale. In 2021 alone, McCaleb is going to make $2 billion. And he isn't named in the lawsuit at all. Almost like he has a get-out-of-jail-free card, also known in some circles as immunity. A little strange, isn't it? That all of a sudden, when McCaleb runs out of XRP, that the SEC lawsuit comes into play. If you didn't know, the split between McCaleb and Ripple Labs was very ugly, and they did not end on amicable terms. Jeb immediately went on to start a payment solution competitor to Ripple Labs in Stellar, or XLM. So, which project pumped immediately following the XRP lawsuit? Stellar. Which project stands to gain the most if XRP fails? Stellar. The more I dug into the timing of all this, the more apparent it becomes that there could be something sinister in play here for the never-ending beef between McCaleb and Ripple Labs. Two of the most hated words in the crypto space are Ripple and Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox almost broke Bitcoin, had a lingering effect for years, and Jed and McCaleb started both of them. One got hacked and people lost hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin, worth billions now. One now faces the biggest crypto SEC lawsuit in history. And somehow, Jed managed to skirt both of these disasters completely and manages to come out as the hero. I don't have the answers to any of these questions, but what I do know is this. There are a lot of strange coincidences when you break all this down. But where does XRP go from here after topping $1? This is what it all boils down to. If Ripple Labs settles with the SEC, XRP will rip. If it fights them tooth and nail, they'll end up getting the death penalty. The idea that Ripple's big enough to fight the government is laughable. It does not matter whether you're right or not. When the government decides to go after you, they win, period. The harder you fight, the worse it's going to be for you. Ripple's best move is to fall over and play dead with the SEC. Take whatever fine and punishment they give and move on. His Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano have all hit fresh all-time highs. In 2021, XRP is still a 200% move away from even approaching its previous all-time highs. So while there's a lot of excitement in the air for the XRP army, there's still a long ways to go to get where they believe it can get. There's been some movement in the lawsuit recently, including a couple of redacted emails and the allowance for XRP holders to intervene in the SEC lawsuit. But it looks like this will linger on through May, when Jed and McCaleb will also run out of XRP. But what do you think, XRP Army? Do you believe there's something underhanded afoot? Or is it just a coincidence that Jed McCaleb will be able to sell all his XRP without any repercussions? Drop your thoughts and an XRP price prediction down below. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.